I am the Philosophical Bachelor, and today I want to talk about trusting the process. I started learning the piano when I was 39 years old, so it has been almost 10 years now. For many, it may seem a bit old for one to get started. That is of course nonsense, since there is no age too old to start learning things. Anyway, I want to share something that I learned from this journey. It does not relate to just learning the piano, but to really learning anything at all. I guess I already knew it, but it struck me in a rather direct way when I started learning the piano. And the thing I want to tell you is to trust the process. So each day I practice for 30 minutes to an hour. There are often days, even weeks, when it does not seem like I'm getting any better at all, especially if the pieces are rather difficult. And they often tend to be difficult, since the way to learn is to keep pushing at the limits of your ability so that you are always stretched. From day to day, progress seems to be slow. In fact, often there does not seem to be any improvement at all as I plug away at the pieces. But over time, I find myself able to play the complete pieces and finally to play it to a level decent enough for me to decide that I am ready to put it aside and move on to new ones. My point is this: we just have to trust the process, that as we are practicing, be it studying for school, learning to swim, or training to run faster, that we are getting better. The improvement may not be perceptible. We may feel as if we are getting nowhere, that we are not improving at all. But the truth is, we are actually improving. It may just be a little, but every day as we train, we are getting better. And then finally, when you look at it over a longer period, say months or years, we see that we have come a long way. This does not mean we can be complacent. We have to put in the work. And that work might seem to be just wasted time and energy, but it isn't. Of course, we have to be actively thinking and working at it. It isn't just blind, mindless repetition, though arguably, even blind, mindless repetition does something. But even better is if we are actively thinking while we are practicing. And then we have to trust the process. If you don't believe me, just think about your own example. How much you have learned and your abilities, starting from when you first began, be it school or a skill like music or sports. Recall as a child how, over the years, you went from not knowing your ABCs to spelling entire words, reading entire books, and writing entire essays. For me, over the years, I went from playing Three Blind Mice to ABBA's hits, Mozart sonatas, and Bach's preludes. Everything takes time. Try to put aside your anxiety, especially if it does not help. Just keep working at what you are learning and trust the process. If you need some proof or reassurance, just think of how far you have come already. Thank you for listening to the Philosophical Bachelor.